The opinions expressed on the radio program by the hosts, co-hosts, guests, and call-in listeners or chatters are solely the opinions and responsibility of the original source who expressed them. They do not necessarily represent the opinions of Genesis Radio, www.genesisradio.com, Genesis Radio's owners, management, or affiliates.
You know, just popped into my head. Going up on Tuesday.
Girl in the club and she Tuesday.
You got to be born after a certain year to know that one. So
Period.
if you a Gen Zer, catch up on your history. But yes, happy Tuesday, y'all. Welcome back to Genesis Radio. I am your host, Amazing Amy, and I'm here with my BFF and my co-host, as usual,
Victoria Paris.
and this is
in my opinion,
Welcome.
episode 7.
episode 7 already.
Episode 7.
That was fast.
already.
That was fast. 7 weeks of doing it with my bestie, okay? And 7 more, and 7 more, and 7 more.
Lucky 7. Lucky 7.
Yes,
Love it.
period. Love that for us. Yes, it's been 7 great weeks. We've been having a lot of fun hosting this show with you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in every week as usual, but also for engaging with us on the socials and for being a part of our growing community. We want to hear y'all opinion while we're sharing our opinion as well. So we appreciate you checking with us on IG Live. We go live every show. So if you follow me on Instagram at Amazing Amy, I'm live right now. Tune in the conversation. And my
At
bestie is
Victoria Paris. Tune in live right now. And we're also live on Facebook as well.
yes. So tap in, check in. And speaking of checking in, quick vibe check. How you feeling today, friend?
I'm feeling amazing.
Cool.
I am feeling really good. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great too. I have no complaints. The weather's a plus always.
Ooh, 60.
Can't complain.
Mhm.
Windows down, layers off. Like it was a good one today.
It was
So
a great one.
expecting more of that or welcoming more of that. And
And expecting it. It's spring.
Right.
I'm expecting it.
it's enough is
Okay.
enough, you know.
Enough is enough.
We had a couple cold days this week too, but it is what it is. We in the mountains. But yeah, the sun is shining. We love it. Vibe is great. This week we got some tea for y'all, as usual. You know, we always say we talking about people.
We
you
talking
know.
about people.
We get into a little tea, a little controversy, a little pop culture with the celebrities got going on because they like to seem like everything is so cool with them, but their life is just as messy as ours.
Yeah, they like be messy.
You know,
and it
messier.
be so relatable to what we be going through.
Yes.
Celebrities are regular people who guys.
Remember back in the day in the magazines, they used to have the column, celebrities, they're just like us. And they would be
Mhm.
like Brittany going to get her groceries or something.
her freaking
Or Lindsay going to get her dry cleaning or whatever.
They actually
And it was like,
no, not like anymore. But it's okay.
yeah, this is back in the day. Are we at the point where we aging ourselves?
I don't know.
Am I dating myself?
Oh well, it's okay.
Whatever, early 2000s was the time, but I remember in the magazines, you know, celebrities are just like us. So
Mhm. They can duplicate it
IG,
now.
the Shade Room is now our virtual magazine of what the celebrities got going on.
Basically blogs.
Yeah, the internet. Yeah. So in this week's news, we got a couple things. I'm gonna just tell y'all what we're gonna talk about. We're gonna go one by one. First, we got Gabrielle Union. She made the news she made the Twitter sphere this week because she made a comment about her 50-50 lifestyle with her husband, Dwayne Wade, who we know is a super successful basketball player. She's also a super successful actress. So, yeah, all the things, multi-hyphenated people here, you know,
Right.
they got stuff going on.
Right.
She made a comment this week about going 50-50. So we're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
We have Beyonce and her Cowboy Carter tour sales. There's mixed reviews on her tour selling or not selling,
Yes.
to its capacity or to what her shows are used to
Used
selling.
to selling and how fast. And
Apparently, because the show didn't sell out right away,
Yeah.
her sales are low. Like,
yeah.
be so for real.
But the projected numbers are insane, and I cannot wait to break those down.
Yeah, we're gonna do some quick maths for y'all.
Yeah,
we're gonna
quick.
talk about these ticket prices and the whole shebang of the beehive of the whole thing.
The
beehive of it all.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get into that. We're gonna talk about. I had another thing written down, but it's slipping my mind. We're gonna get there.
We gonna get there.
Tiana Taylor and Iman Shumpert have filed for divorce, and they filed for divorce a while ago, I
Right.
suppose. They've been going through the divorce proceedings, and it's been settled, and he's losing. And I'm sorry, but the bad baby daddies, once again, you go down. We don't support bad baby daddies.
We don't. Bitter baby daddies. The bitter, the bad baby daddy.
You know, he was a husband and a father, or had those titles, but he wasn't.
I mean, I guess he still is a father.
He wasn't walking the walk.
Yeah.
On paper, not in the home.
Yeah.
There's child support involved. There's assets, division of assets, and all those things. So, yeah, we're gonna get into a little tidbit of that and how, you know, what you reap, you reap what you sow.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
That's a very strong theme there. So, yeah, let's start at the top. So,
and one more topic we get into as well.
What's our other one?
The Love is Blind.
OMG. Our main topic. How could I forget?
How could we forget?
We got a question for y'all that we put out on our Instagrams, that we put out in the polls, and this came to us.
And it's been a topic too.
It's everything we talk about is based on something that's going on in the news or in pop culture. But this week, it came to us that this would be a good thing to ask you guys how you feel about this.
Yeah.
So if you watch Love is Blind, this new season, it's already wrapped up. The reunion has come and went, but throughout the episodes, you know, the tea always spills over, and then Twitter analyzes what happened between these two. What was the problem here?
And then you see the after effects on social media. And all
right.
That too.
I feel like I need to pull up their names and the specifics to tell y'all. Well, I probably don't. Let's just do a scenario. So there's this couple. They meet in the pods.
Yeah.
They have a connection, and you know, we only keep up with the couples that we like. For whatever reason.
Right.
So we didn't really, you know, they weren't really that interesting aside from this analyzation. Yeah. So they matched. They got to the point where they fell in love. He proposed. Mm-hmm. They see each other in person. They go on their honeymoon. The whole thing. Then they get to the point where they're now living together and they're seeing if they can make a relationship work outside the pods and in the real world. Now, the problem that comes up for these two is that the lady in the relationship, slept with someone that he knows. That the husband
they're married, I guess.
Well, they were
so
fiancés.
Yeah.
They were fiancés. So the woman in the situation had slept with someone that he knew. And for whatever his reasons were, he couldn't get over that. He let that get in between them to the point that he called off the relationship and they never got to even the wedding episode. So in us discussing that, we were like, that's interesting.
That's interesting.
So the question is, you want to ask me the question, friend?
Can you, or could you, or would you date someone who slept with someone you know or knew? In this situation, they weren't friends, so I wouldn't even say that if you were friends.
Right. This was just like social acquaintances. It was maybe like, my friend knows of him and says that's
or I see him around.
Yeah.
Maybe they went to the same high school, but you're grown now. You know what I mean? So that it's not like he doesn't know this person personally. They weren't friends. So like, could you, or would you, or have you?
Right.
Slept with
Do you
someone,
have a story about dating
someone?
someone who dated people that you know, whether that's in passing or, you know, I feel like there's layers to this too, because it's like
there is layers.
You know, there's a certain code where it's like you're not supposed to do X, Y, Z among
your friends, and I think it's also
groups,
different from males and females as well,
for sure.
So, what do you think? What's your opinion on that?
This one is very situational because, like I just said, it depends on the relationships involved. Like, for example, you're one of my best friends for 11 years. It would be crazy to sleep with someone that you were in a relationship with or have been in a
Had
relationship with.
relations with.
Yeah, to
Yeah.
a certain extent, I feel like that's a line you don't cross.
Right.
But socially, like, if we worked at the same factory and you was in the warehouse and I was in the office and you used to date Chad and now I started dating Chad, that don't got nothing to
That
do
don't
with
got
me,
nothing
babe.
to do with me,
That don't got nothing
babe.
to do with me, babe. And am I gonna judge Chad for dating you in the past? No. You know, people change. I don't know why you worked out, and that might not be why we working out, but I think it's very situational. Like it's a touchy subject. It depends.
So on
I'm not gonna straight up
Insta,
say yes or no.
I put like yes, no, or like depends, and I told people to
explain.
elaborate if they
Mhm.
could. So that was like really good. I think some people were just like, yeah, yes. There was just
No question
yes.
about it.
No elaboration, nothing. Yes. Don't care, don't anything.
And I feel like there's multiple reasons for that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Remember, we were watching one of our Netflix shows where we were talking about one of our shows, Younger, where one of the characters, she's in her 40s, she starts dating this guy,
Mm-hmm.
and she finds out that he used to make adult films.
Yeah.
And she confronted him about it, and he said, Diane,
I'm 40.
at this age, you're going to expect us to come with some baggage.
Yeah, like we're not teens, we're not in our 20s.
Our
like,
slates
I've
are
lived
not
life.
blank, honey. Like,
right.
it's some marks on there at this point. So it's like, that's why I think it's really circumstantial, because it's like, there's a lot to be weighed there. You know, it can't just be like.
So someone said, we're grown. Be with whoever makes you happy. So that's another thing.
Yeah, that part.
What if like you find yourself attracted to this person?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like, and then some say you shouldn't even cross the line, but let's say whatever, and you're like really happy,
Mm-hmm.
and you find out, do you call it off? What if you don't find out until after you're happy?
This is all situational. It's like, find out who was the other person? Was it, you know what I'm saying, my cousin, or was it like the girl I used to work with at the store?
At the store, you know what I'm saying?
Or
but
whatever.
Or does
the
that
girl that I
matter?
was friends with for a little bit, but
does
not
that
no
matter
more.
if
Like,
this person makes you happy? Does it
Yeah.
matter?
Exactly.
Spice.
And it's so many different like versions of this, because there's the people who are like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
I would never. And you know, the more mature people, I guess, are like, look, we're grown. Stuff I just seen a hell TF no. So some people are like, no, absolutely not.
Somebody was
Some
like,
people are like, maybe.
Someone said, no, I just stopped talking to this guy because he's my bestie's ex before I even knew her, but I don't even GAF. So like they weren't even besties at the point where they dated, but she's like, I can't do it.
But as a good friend and just as a mature person, knowing of the, you know, what's involved in a relationship. They had an emotional, sexual, all that type of connections.
Right.
And like,
would you even want that?
Yeah, would you even want that for yourself? Like, and why? You know, I don't know.
Right. Because and you might have heard some stories and didn't even know it was about this person, right?
Right.
When you're talking about, oh yeah, my ex, this, and this. And the whole time it was about that ex that you didn't even know until after. So that could be spicy.
Recently.
Ooh.
Yeah, funny.
But,
yeah, it's like, no, absolutely.
Not this time. Maybe next time. Guys.
But yeah, I guess like, you know, you gotta be a certain level of mature to deal with that, or maybe not.
Maybe not. Or maybe the other person is like, absolutely not.
We also talked about this from men and women's point of view, because you know it's always a double standard.
Mm-hmm.
I was just telling you about this. I was like, I don't feel no way if I'm in a room with two dudes that, you know, I talked to in the past.
And should you?
I don't know if I should.
Right? No,
I feel like that's why I don't. So
I don't feel like you should, especially if it's like you dated one in college and one, whatever, how many years ago? It's like,
right.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, it's not like I was double timing two guys and they didn't know about each other and I was such a big bad cheater or nothing like that. You know,
right.
We're adults. We go through life.
Yeah, I do think it was very, and I do think there is a sense of insecurity in the Love is Blind situation. Bringing it back to that, only just because if that is the only reason and you fell in love with this girl without even knowing her, and like we said, this person is not your friend or anything. You guys never even played a game of basketball together.
It was literally a friend of a friend. Oh, my friend knows him and says this about him and he's not a great guy. It was like that. It was like telephone. Wow. He wasn't even getting it directly from the person. Like he interacted with the guy. Nothing like that.
That's
It was
lame.
his friend. Yeah.
That's
And that's
lame.
why when we were talking about it, I said, this sounds like he just had other reasons. Because, men will just lie.
Yeah,
Oh, it's because you slept with him the whole time.
it's something
It's
else.
because he's not attracted to her, or it's because she doesn't make enough money, or it's because
whatever
she doesn't, whatever,
Do
fit
the-
into his
all the
relationship box.
things.
But it could come off a little disingenuous.
a little.
Because if you're
Yeah.
a mature person, you think about the circumstances involved, and depending on, what the relationships are between you and the person, whoever their ex is or whatever, then
Yeah, I did get one of those too. Someone was like, it just depends on how their relationship, or like how me and that person's relationship was, and then also like,
Yeah.
maybe the extent of their relationship, because maybe the relationship was light, and it wasn't much of a relationship. So then you don't
right.
care.
Like, am I gonna be mad that I like someone that you was in a situationship with 6 years ago? No.
Yeah, it does come off a
Like-
little immature. Someone said,
Yeah.
nah, only because people are too childish, and I'm gonna crash out if my homie say he smashed my girl. So
Mm.
maybe it's just a level of not being able
Maturity.
to take it.
Yeah.
I mean, I
'cause-
guess he said that it's, but yeah,
What
but
do you-
what is the reason to bring that up, right? What would be the reason to bring that up? Like, oh, I'm just letting you know.
that matters. That's part of it too, right? Where it's like, that would have to come from interrelationally. Like, I would have to be telling my person, hey, I know you might know so and so. Me and them had a thing back in the day. Not a situation where
The person
somebody has an opportunity to surprise him with information. That's never
That's
good.
true. That's true.
It should
That's
be open
true.
if y'all are
But
mature
also,
enough to
what
have
if it's
that
a
kind of
case like you
conversation.
didn't even think it was worth saying? And what if it wasn't something worth saying, but the other person just said it?
See, that's how stuff get messy, because then what happens when the other person finds out, and that's technically a lie by omission. You didn't tell of it.
You feel like that, but what if it was like, oh, that was a one-time thing 6 years ago? I didn't even think to tell you that.
Oh no.
And you're like, I don't even know why this person would bring it up. He remembers.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Hey, I don't know.
I know it's just
It's
such
very-
a situational thing.
It is very situational.
That's
But
why I feel like
I guess
it's a
what we can
question.
conclude is, if you're mature enough to navigate that, then it shouldn't be a
It
problem.
shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, if you're, I guess it's if you're just like, if you go hold that down. Some people can't. Some people are real emotional and territorial.
Yeah,
about
and
what they
some
had
people
or
are
had.
corny too. Like in the scenario you were saying, like some dudes just want to boast, like, I used to smash your girl.
Yeah, and then it's like,
If he knew what I told my homegirls about him, he would
In
not
that
be
group
talking
chat.
like that. You know what I'm saying?
left,
He wouldn't be talking about.
you know,
He wouldn't be talking like that.
he
But
would be.
like he said, some people are childish, so I can understand that.
hmm
'Cause I might crash out if a girl try to come and be like, I used to.
I might
used to-
crash. He right. He got a point. I might crash.
All things considered, you gotta,
I might crash. So
you gotta weigh the options.
yeah.
So
I don't know.
it
that
comes
was
down
a
to you,
video.
your person, and your relationship. But at the end of the day, do what makes you happy. Okay.
You know what? Do what makes you happy, and especially if it's love. Somebody said, I ain't find out my girl was a hoe until after.
And it be like that.
She said, I was in love already. I said, you know what? If you love her, that's all that matters.
Right. It
That's
depends
all that matters.
on that person. Y'all relationship is solid enough for you to get over that hurdle, if you even see it as a hurdle. But
Right. And some
it's
people,
information.
right.
That's what you do with it.
I guess that's what it is. Do you even see it as
Something to do something
something.
about. Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, are you putting any
Yeah.
value on that? Because
I like that. Are you
Uh,
putting value on that? 'Cause
on
that's
that.
ultimately what it is. Because even if the person who was in the relationship is not putting value on it, you're putting value on it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, to make yourself feel better about me doing whatever.
Or having a
past.
past. 'Cause
Yeah, having
literally
a
that's
past.
what it is. Like, and everyone has a past. And
But yeah.
we ain't talking to the teens, so
No,
You
this
should
is
have
for
a
the
little
20,
bit
this
of
is
a
for the
pass.
25 and older.
right,
Okay.
you know,
95s and up, 95 babies and up. But yeah,
95 babies is 30, Bookie.
I know, but still.
Oh, because you said the 25.
I know, but whatever.
I guess we can count the 2000s
Mentally,
in
we
there. fine.
lost COVID, so I'm.
You know, because don't it be
Let's
feeling
subtract
crazy
a couple
when
years.
you do the math?
But yeah, so that's interesting. But
Yeah,
come
I
out
like
to you and your
it.
person, and how y'all decide to navigate that, but it is very circumstantial, I will say, because the more I think about it, I'm like, if it was this person, I'll be okay, but if it was this person, I might not.
Right. And I think it's I think to just be like blanket, like a blanket answer is like a little bit.
That's definitely immature.
Yeah.
Then we're getting into red pill boys. Like, if a girl's ever slept with one man before you, she's disgusting.
She
Like,
can't have more than
please.
3 bodies.
Yeah, let's be for real.
Let's be.
Bro, you're 30.
Just because you don't got
You're
more than
literally
3 bodies, you wasn't getting.
No, but they
snatch.
do. They just want to maintain this woman's purity, and women aren't supposed to.
That's
be,
true. That's true.
this
But I also
virginal
have
thing.
a theory that a lot of these guys behind microphones never was getting the cooter cat, and that's why they're bitter behind it.
I
You
just seen a
have
whole
2
thing
pieces of
this
cooter cat in
morning.
your whole life.
I seen a whole thing this morning that literally the cure to those red pill podcast votes is going outside. If they went outside and had experiences, they wouldn't be
real life
like
experiences
that.
with real life women in real life relationships.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
You're good.
But yeah, and if you got, if you got a little opinion, definitely tap in, leave a comment.
Yeah,
the conversation is not done. But yeah, I was like, I had some funny answers in there. People was very, very strong felt about it. So
love that. Love hearing their opinion.
Yeah, tap in.
Yes. So next, Gabrielle Union and her 50-50 her recent comments about the 50-50 relationship structure.
Yeah.
Right. So we know she's married to Dwayne Wade. They're both super successful people. And for whatever reasons Gabrielle has had, they have been going 50-50 in that relationship, I guess, since its inception. Now, now, I don't understand. Why? Now the recent comments are that I guess she realized that she was living through a generational trauma. She was realizing that this is what was expected of her as a strong Black woman, blah, blah, blah.
Insane.
I'm paraphrasing here, so do your own research. But basically, you said she was backtracking on her 50-50 comment, and then she's saying now, like, oh, I'm realizing that was stupid. We was telling you that, baby.
Yeah.
So let's get into it,
right?
2 millionaires in a relationship, and the woman's going 50-50. Now, why would you do that?
In the beginning, like when she did the interview, and then she did make a good point. She said, they both have households that they care for their own respective families outside of their household.
Okay.
So I guess she felt like to have him then pay 100% of the bills or whatever the case, knowing that they both support outside households, is like unfair. Whatever, she can pull her part, like you said. Then there's the
Okay.
To me, it sounded like she just felt like, why would I? I have the money to do it, and why would I? And the general consensus to that was he has 3 to 4 times as much money as you. It's not the fact we know you have the money. His 1 year of his basketball contract is like
5 movies.
If that. Like, you hear me? Like,
yeah. So the point is, he's the primary breadwinner, and logically, it would make sense that he carries majority of the bills.
Not all.
Yes, because here's my theory or my opinion on the 50-50 split. I think it's silly, and I think that if we're being logical, whoever makes the most pays the bigger chunks of bills, and the other person does what they can. Not does what they can, but you split the bills according to who can afford them. If the woman makes 2 times what the man makes, the woman pays the larger bills, the rent and the car notes.
That would make sense.
And he's still working, but he makes 1/3 of what I make, so he can pay the cable and the subscriptions and the electric and the water, because those
groceries
add up to one of the bills I'm paying, whatever. But you know what I'm saying? Split according to what you can maintain, not according to you got to give me half because you live here, and like, it's silly.
That is silly. That is very silly.
I want to get into a creator that made videos about this recently. We could just do a quick snippet, but he was talking about why Black women or Black relationships are struggling in the modern American capitalist structure, because like this system wasn't made for us. Like, you know what I'm saying? The men weren't paid enough to necessarily take care
carry
of
the home.
Exactly. It's a whole thing, but we can get into that next week after we
We
watch the
can.
videos.
We
but
absolutely can.
that just popped up. But yeah, the 50-50 thing is silly. Not silly, but it's not always the best.
It's not blanket.
It's not blanket. You gotta do
Right.
what works best for your situation. That's the problem in relationships. Everybody's trying
Yeah.
to apply what works for everybody else to their thing. Like
To their thing.
your thing is different. Your
Yeah.
relationship is unique to the two of you. So you have to do what works best for you two. But that's a hard pill to swallow, especially when it's like,
And
you
like
know.
it was just because to say like she went through, she almost had a breakdown trying to carry them damn bills.
So she was struggling to maintain a responsibility she kind of put on herself.
She was struggling to maintain her. I wouldn't even say she didn't sound like she was struggling to pay the bills. She was just struggling. Yeah, but not that she couldn't afford it. It was just like carrying all of that
We can
weight.
find this nigga.
Yeah, it was like she was saying like carrying the weight of making sure she is because her money doesn't come like his, right? She has to make sure she's getting booked, whatever the case may be.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like she's almost living paycheck to paycheck, trying to make it work.
And I guess maybe she cleaned it up. She polished it more than that, so it didn't sound like that. But maybe that is the overall thing. But she was like, she was in a dark place. Like she was an emotional, and she wasn't in her best feminine energy.
Right.
Like because like, who are you trying to prove something to? You know who has the money and who doesn't. It's the first thing on YouTube Shorts. So.
This is, I gotta find it. You say YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay.
But like you know who has the money, you know who carries the weight, you know who could like. So why would you be pushing yourself that hard? Like you're gonna.
We said to
overwork
prove
yourself.
something.
Yeah.
To who? Like, you know.
Right, because no one knows how your bills are split in the house, so you're proving something to yourself.
Let's see if she mentions it here. I don't think it's this one, but yeah, y'all can look into the video itself, but I feel like that's a general consensus. She was struggling to go 50-50 because she wanted to.
I
like,
guess.
Is that what we're gathering here?
I guess. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, it felt really silly. And then to say that you spiraled for something you wanted to do, and then Dwayne Wade does an interview and he's like, "You wanted to do it," and it's almost like, did you not see her spiraling? Like, did you not see her having a hard time? You know what I mean? Like, we know she wanted to do it.
That almost sounds like she over there,
right?
Pulling her eyebrows out, and he's
in?
like, "You want to go 50-50?"
Well, at what point do you
On you.
swoop in and
That's another point too.
and you're like, you know what? I get it, but enough is enough.
Mm-hmm.
You're my wife.
You don't have to do this. Relax. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
And when she said this, I don't know if she mentioned the whole strong black woman thing, but I feel like that whole, like, don't put everything on being a black woman. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Don't please.
Some of us wouldn't have did that.
Okay.
Some of us,
and you also can't have it both ways
would have made a
because
better choice.
you know, some people would say that we wouldn't accept it because
Right. I mean, some people have these harsh rules about, for example, I would never sleep with someone that slept with someone that I know.
Right.
Some people, I would never go 50-50 with a man.
Not that's making 4 times as much as me. Oh no, Gabby, I
Yeah.
don't know what kind of self-infliction harm you got going on.
Logically, it didn't.
It didn't add up. Like, and then all of the commentary behind that, when we were like, "Hey, that doesn't logically make sense," and then X Red Pill was up in they were up in a frenzy, and now she's also backtracking, same thing, because she had did a couple other interviews and was kind of like, "Well, I said what I said." Okay, now you're backtracking what you said because it's insane.
Yeah, because it's hitting hard now,
It's
or it
insane.
hit you to the point you had to go to therapy, and you're
Literally,
realizing that,
she had to get help. She was down. Like, come on. Girl.
Yeah, I don't know. It just sounds like taking on more than you need to, and then like being, I don't know if wanting praise for it or like
because who
wanting
wanting the praise from? Dwayne?
I don't know.
He knows what your paycheck look like.
Yeah. And that's what happens when you seek an outside validation. I'm not saying that's what she was doing. I'm just saying like it sounds like you wasn't doing something that made sense for you because you felt like it was what made sense to other people.
right?
But
And
I don't see why
and
you wouldn't.
even if that was validating for yourself, at the point where it wasn't, why didn't
You
you,
had another
revisit the
option.
conversation with your man? Like,
Especially when you had the
babe.
option. It wasn't on some you got one chance, 50-50 for life.
you know,
It wasn't like that.
like
you
come
know?
on, like come on, girl.
Then again, we're not in a relationship. We don't know the ins and outs, but we're just saying, in our opinion, from our point of view,
Mm-hmm.
it ain't made no sense. To
That
do
was
it.
a hard flip. Like that was a hard flip, and hate to say it, but we turned through something.
Yeah,
I'm
it
glad
didn't,
you
it didn't make
learned
sense the first time you mentioned it, and you doubled down on it. It still ain't make sense, and now we're like, okay,
You rewinding.
yeah.
We see.
And it might have something to do with the fact that they had a child since then. Maybe when they first
Was it that
went
long
into
ago?
this. When
I
she
don't
first
know.
mentioned that they go 50-50.
Which is even more insane.
Yeah, I feel like maybe this. I don't feel like that's something you do midway through a relationship. That's something that was foundational. Like, oh yeah, we've been doing this since we've been together.
And he was at the height of his career, so also
I saw
more
a video in
insane.
2023 about them splitting bills 50-50. So at minimum, most recently 2 years ago, they were talking about that. So
Jesus, Louises.
hey,
Well, I'm
everybody
glad
gotta
you out that sunken place, babe. I'm glad
Yeah.
you're out of it.
yeah,
Yeah.
and we took notes on
What not?
what not to do if we could do better. You know, if you had a choice, make the better one.
Yeah.
I'm not struggling for the sake of struggling to say I got through this. It's like climbing Mount Everest.
Yeah.
Why would you? Nobody told you to do that. Who you trying to prove something to?
Oh.
You know, it's like that. So hey,
Hey.
we respect it. Everyone makes their own choices, and
Make the one that's not gonna have you. You know, if you can.
going to that lady on the couch.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not gonna have you going to that lady.
Okay.
So yeah, everybody relationship is a mess. Celebrities, they're just like us.
Speaking of celebs,
Yeah, let's get into our next topic. Would you like to do the honors, friend? Because this is your forte.
I would like to do the honors. I
Take
would
it
like
away.
to get into Queen Bee, Beyonce.
Yeah.
We love her. Let's preface with that.
Yeah.
There were reports. It was a newscaster. Don't know who she is, but you know, she won one of us. And she was saying that Beyonce's Cowboy Carter tour is not selling the way it was projected to. Yada yada yada.
Mhm.
So, but after further research, all of the arenas that she's set to perform at on the set list are at 94% of capacity. So something's selling. It could be payola, could be resellers, whatever. It's selling. Someone gonna buy them tickets. We know people gonna buy them tickets.
But that's what I was saying. Them not selling out
Immediately.
is not selling as projected.
Yeah.
Because every other tour, I guess it was immediately the same day websites were crashing. People couldn't get them fast enough.
Well, people are still paying off the last tour on their credit card, so
yeah,
they needed some time.
And let's get into that. So the whole controversy of it all is they're saying her sales aren't as projected,
but they are.
But people are still buying her tickets.
So
and if you do the math,
I was, my brain just started turning, and I'm like, okay, 94% capacity. What does that mean, right? So I looked up the biggest stadium in the U.S. and then I said, no, the biggest stadium that she will be performing at, and that's the SoFi Stadium. April dates, just in case you needed to know that. It holds 70,000 people, 70K seats, and it can be expanded up to 100,240 seats. And it's Beyonce, so I'm expecting it to be expanded up to 100,240 seats, right? So then they say that her projected sales are 325 million across 31 shows. So she's projected to make $325 million across 31 shows.
Just from ticket sales.
Just from ticket sales. So that's not merch, that's not anything else, just ticket sales. So I did the math, I broke that down. That's 10.5 million a show, right? So I did the math and I said, I forgot which math it was, but I did some dividing,
Mm-hmm.
and that technically comes out to $125 per person.
For at least the show at her biggest stadium.
Yes.
So at her biggest stadium, she's making 10.5 million for that show. If we break down those ticket prices for the attendees, that comes out to about $150. 120,
yeah,
$150 per ticket.
And I can't remember
Per
if I
ticket.
did 325 million as the entirety. I think I did 325 million divided by, I can't remember which one I divided, but I did it to get the entirety. I can't remember. I had it on the tape at work.
Anyway, we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. But basically, she could charge each person $125, $150 per ticket, and still make the same amount of money.
Just did it real quick. So if we did $125 times 90,000 people, which is the minimum capacity for that stadium, or was it 70,000?
It was 70. That's the minimum.
Bet we gonna put y'all on real quick. Buddy?
Yeah, it's 11 more. Okay.
Times 70,000. That's 8.75 million.
75 million. And I did it times the maximum capacity because it's Beyonce, right? So she's going to be making $10.5 million at most and 8.5 at least. So you could charge everyone $125 and still make that same amount of money and still have affordable tickets for your fans rather than having all of these insane, like some of those ticket prices are absolutely
because let's talk about why it's a problem that that she's not selling to capacity.
Right. There's reasons
the
behind
reason
that.
is because these ticket prices are egregious.
Yeah. And
like
people,
we're talking rent and then some. And people are still paying off their last Beyonce
I've
concert
seen so
tickets.
many videos of people saying that. Like, it's on my credit card, but I'm putting this next one on my credit
card. When this tour was announced, everybody quickly was like, Beyonce girl, come on, begging this lady on the internet to lower her ticket prices.
Literally.
Like, she's watching y'all.
They were
she's watching y'all and cackling.
Please, I don't have it right now.
Cackling, and rubbing her feet in her gold tub that y'all paid for.
Yeah. And I think that, I don't know, like, I think that that's something for her to think about. Maybe you should put on but if you're gonna make the same amount of money anyway, maybe you should put on an affordable tour for your fans. If you can make the same amount of money,
I mean, that would be great, but she's not in this for the people. You know what I'm saying? We know celebrities who have done free shows and concerts and philanthropic things.
Yeah.
We don't think of Beyonce when we think of that. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't.
So
I'm sorry, babe.
I'm not expecting her to do nothing nice for her fans. And it's crazy because her fan following is so loyal, and loyal to a fault is a thing. But they're loyal AF, and they go to their last dime for her every time. Because not only buying tickets, but we can't even say her name too loud in the streets for real.
Yeah, we probably gonna get a lot of hate for this. But
this
we're not even saying anything
about
bad.
Ticket prices.
Yeah, and we're probably gonna get a lot of hate for it. And I'm not,
Whenever you talk about her, you get hate for it, which is kind of funny because it's like she's not a politician. She's not, the Prince of Jerusalem. But we can't say nothing about the lady because they go crazy. But this is just about ticket sales. So her ticket prices are a little crazy for what she could make and is going to be making regardless. And
admitting that, and openly admitting that you're going into debt. And this is multiple people across multiple platforms. Like, this is on Twitter. This is on TikTok.
This is a general consensus among her group. Like, the people who bought tickets, they have their means and ways. I'm sure some of them can't afford it immediately. I'm sure some of them went through some means to advance their next checks, pawn something, do what they had to do to get that money up. But people did what they had to do. The people who just can't make it, and that's not what concerts are supposed to be. Like, it's supposed to be an opportunity for you to
really see your person and feel good about it, not to go into debt after you did it. Because then you got to remember, some people are flying, then you got the hotel that you're staying, or whatever the case may be. Or
it's supposed to be a fun experience. It's not supposed to be putting you in debt. A concert should not put you in debt. I think that's something we can all agree on.
Yeah.
A concert shouldn't put you in debt.
Absolutely.
So that is kind of crazy. And
then and I am an advocate for the fact of, I really don't, not a person I love. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'll go to a concert, but I'm gonna try to get the best seats I can if I can. So I get the fact that you're gonna want to pay more money for the better seats to be up close or whatever the case may be. But
not when the This not when the seats that are like, you know what I'm
2-3
saying?
bands.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God.
Not
like,
when the
that's
seats are so
insane.
ridiculously overpriced. Because that
It's
is at
insane.
this point it's kind of given like what's the word I'm looking for? Like taking
Glutton?
advantage of.
Oh.
Like she's taking advantage of people. I don't know.
Yeah. Because you know people gonna do it regardless. So
And I think that's what it is. Fans loyal to a fault, they're gonna buy them tickets regardless.
mhm.
They will justify that purchase. People are going to see her for the 5th time. Like there's people who have tried to be at every show. You know,
That's
for some people,
insane.
this is their Michael, this is their MJ, and that's fine.
Ooh.
You know, we're not a part of the Hive. We're just talking, but you know,
I'm
people
part
are
of the Hive
going.
to an extent.
People are going.
But I'm not gonna go into debt for a
Above and
concert
beyond.
ticket.
Yeah, I think
You know
we
what I
all
mean?
agree.
Like that is crazy. Like serious that like I'm not talking about you just advance $200 from your paycheck. I'm talking you put a $3,500 ticket on your credit card, then you had to pay for the whatever, and then you had to get a parking, you had to pay. Like it's not just like we get the ticket and we go. You know what I mean? You got to pay for all the things.
Yeah, some people are flying to see her.
Mhm.
Like people make this whole event. Like I said, people are going for the third, fourth time,
That's insane.
which is a little much.
That is
and at a
insane.
point, it's kind of like, is this willful victimization? Are you doing this to yourself?
If you're doing that, you are. You definitely are. I can't blame B for that. Y'all can't blame her for that. You know what I'm saying? If she didn't want you to come see the show.
It'll be interesting to see over time whether like this becomes an exclusivity thing where it's like, well, are we gonna be priced out of Beyonce tickets? Like it's only gonna be for a certain
Class
group of
of
people, you know?
I don't think she can do that.
What do you mean?
I think as
She can
loyal
try.
as Beyonce's fans are, I don't think that. I think that would go over. Really
I think it's
bad.
happening right now. The fact that these tickets didn't sell out because they can't.
But I think people would be enraged if it was like we're priced out. I think people would be enraged with her.
They are priced out.
But they're still finding ways to get it. So they're not priced out.
No, you can be priced out and still find ways to do things. People do things they can't afford all the time.
So you think it's happening and people don't even see it?
Of course.
I guess I wasn't seeing it, but
Absolutely.
I can kind of see it how
it'll be funny to see. It's giving exclusivity. It's giving blocking out a certain group of people. I don't know. The average person. The average person working and trying to have a good time. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, all I gotta say is don't go into debt for a concert. Don't do
for
it.
anything, but especially not for one ticket for one night. You know, it's not your wedding. It's not.
And don't even go into debt for your wedding for real.
It's not your baby's prom night. It's not.
Yeah.
Your daughter's wedding. It's not nothing worth investing.
It's not an investment, right? It's not an investment. It's an experience, and I am gung ho for spending money on experiences, but like there has to be a limit.
Right.
We talk about the girls who go to Miami with no money all the time, right? We talk about them all the time. This is a variation of that.
Yeah, that's irresponsible. This would be irresponsible.
Exactly. This is a variation of that. So yeah.
Crazy. We'll see how those ticket sales go.
Yeah. I mean, I know they're gonna sell, but yeah.
No, but I think it's crazy that selling at 94% was considered not as projected, like because they're not sold out.
I guess.
And 94% is a lot, but that's not as
because I was just thinking of the timeline of it. Like maybe they didn't sell as fast as they did last time, but yeah, I guess they're staying.
But that's because they're outpriced. First time, people had it. They said, "Oh, we could get that."
And then also too, there was an anticipation, even though she didn't she didn't pre-announce.
She never launches any
but they knew that with the album comes tour, and because it was so much time in between her last one, everybody was kind of prepared for that. They weren't prepared for you to drop another tour. I think it's been. Has it been 2 years? I think it's been like maybe 18 months.
Don't know, but she's found her formula, and
I don't want to get into
make it work. I mean the formula of music tours.
Oh, I thought you meant the formula of silence.
No.
The giving and then the pulling.
We know better than to say too much about that lady, but we're just gonna talk about her ticket sales. So yeah.
But I still love B though.
Sure.
I do, but it just be.
That's your opinion.
No, I do. It's just crazy. Like it's just. It really is crazy. It really is crazy. So. I don't know.
Don't use that baby tax money on these Beyonce tickets, but you know that's what they're gonna do.
You know that's what they're gonna do. The babies never see this tax money.
Oh my god.
I mean, not the babies, but
I don't think not never, but Beyonce or baby Pampers. Those conversations are gonna happen. Those thoughts are gonna happen out there.
They won't
So,
buy the payment. It's gonna be like it's gonna be like concert ticket or light bill.
low key, low key. Well, if we're gonna be going this weekend, lights could be off. We can tell them
We can
over
pay
to
them on
bed.
Monday. We gotta be
Listen,
more
do what's best for you.
responsible.
Do what's best for
We gotta be
you.
more responsible. But yeah,
Um,
so that's all. Don't go in debt. Don't go in debt. We love the queen, but
yeah. Again, the concept shouldn't put you in debt. I think we should all be able to agree on that, But if you're gonna find it, find
it is to each his own.
Find
In your
it,
opinion, in our
enjoy,
opinion,
have fun.
all the things.
Yes.
Yes.
Yo, it's 6:59. I can still see the sun outside.
Isn't it amazing?
It's not even gray or nothing. Like it's the white light outside.
Isn't it amazing?
Love that for
I
us.
love it. I'm loving it.
On that note, friend, anything else you want to leave the people with this week?
I'm gonna leave the people with a word. It's a really, really short word, but I liked it today. So I'm gonna read it to you guys.
Yeah, share the positive energy.
Let your statement yes be yes and no be no. Anything more comes from the evil one.
Ooh,
Something to think about for today.
and that's on that explaining myself. Love that.
Period. So yeah.
Thank y'all once again for tuning in to Genesis Radio with me, Amazing Amy.
And me, Victoria Paris.
This has been, in my opinion,
and
we have mad fun with y'all as usual.
yes.
Tune in same time next week. We might have a guest for you guys, so stay tuned.
Stay
Wink, wink.
tuned. Yes, engage, tune in. We're gonna be dropping clips, questions, so that you guys can engage with us.
Yeah, start being a part of our conversation.
Yeah, we like that.
Yeah, because we talk to each other all the damn time. All the time, every day.
We need to bounce some.
So let me hear what you guys say.
You know.
So yeah, see y'all next week, Tuesday, 6 p.m. Have a beautiful rest of your week and a beautiful weekend.
It's gonna be warm.
And yeah, be blessed.
Ciao.
Later.